Welcome. In this session, we'll review some background information about competitive experience and provide updates on the legislation proposed by the Competitive Experience Committee for the October 2020 business meeting. Your two speakers today are Marcia Lashley and myself, Ellen Ramsey. Marcia is the Registrar and FAR at Missouri Valley College and also chairs the NAIA's Competitive Experience Committee. I'm the director of the Eligibility Center and the committee's staff liaison. The Competitive Experience Committee is made up of athletics directors, faculty athletics representatives, and a conference commissioner. In May 2019, the COP Executive Committee requested presidential involvement in the ongoing discussions, which led to Dr. Barbara McMillan of Blue Mountain College to join the committee in an advisory role. Additionally, we continue to engage past committee members to ensure the committee maintains historical perspective as their work continues. The committee has also engaged the ADA Board of Directors and collaborated with the Financial Aid Task Force throughout the discussion these past few years. Eligibility in the NAIA consists of applying academic standards, including terms of attendance and other regulations, as well as athletic standards and amateurism. Athletic standards are currently made up of two components: intercollegiate seasons of competition and non-intercollegiate or outside seasons of competition. The current proposal deals with intercollegiate seasons of competition, which Marcia will review in more detail momentarily. The committee has also been discussing non-intercollegiate seasons and plans to propose legislation for that component in the future. A brief summary of the competitive experience rules history is shown here. Since the NAIA adopted the current approach of charging seasons of competition for elite level participation in 2009, there have been a variety of changes to the bylaws and evaluative criteria. While the intent of those changes have always been to assess athletic history appropriately, collectively they have led to a rule that is complex to understand and to apply. Seeing those complexities play out through appeals, the Competitive Experience Committee began assessing the current rule in 2016 with an initial proposal that was withdrawn in 2018 in order to better define their approach and obtain the broad perspective of the membership. That's the work the committee has been conducting over the past 2 years, leading to the current legislation. To engage the membership, the committee utilized the NAIA forum and communication with conferences, coaches associations, and other groups to solicit feedback over the past year. They received over 100 comments on the forum and about 25 direct responses. This displays a sort of straw poll about each component of the committee's initial recommendations based on the forum comments. As you can see, the first two components, honoring other associations and having a maximum of 4 available seasons of competition for each sport, received relatively low engagement, and the comments stated that these elements work for the NAIA. The committee will make no changes on these components. As you move right, you can see that minimum participation was largely supported. Again, this is the current proposal that Marcia will review with us on the next slide. Next, membership also supported raising the standard for outside competition. Elite level is currently defined in the evaluative criteria, and although this component is supported, there are also many outstanding questions about how the higher standard will be defined. The committee continues to refine these elements of how to most effectively adjust this approach and will return to the membership for feedback as the year continues. Finally, the membership almost unanimously opposed instituting a clock in both the forum and on conferences. The committee has removed this option from its discussions. I'll now hand it over to Marcia to review details about the current proposal.
So this brings us to our current proposal for seasons of competition, minimum participation. Participation in more than 20% of the maximum allowable number of intercollegiate contests or dates, excluding scrimmages, whether in a varsity junior varsity, or freshman program during the 24-week season will be charged a season of competition. Any participation in NAIA-approved postseason shall result in a season of competition being charged. The NAIA shall count all seasons of competition based on intercollegiate participation charged by another intercollegiate athletic association. In summary, any student that participates in less than 20% of the allowable number of contests or dates and does not participate in postseason play will not be charged a season of competition. As mentioned in the last slide, we received a lot of positive feedback from membership, but just to mention a few. I believe 100% this would be a positive change for the NAIA student athletes. The 20% rule allows for a positive impact on a student's ability to truly fulfill a true college experience. I really like this idea. The spirit of the rule is a positive move for the NAIA. This rule will go hand in hand with the 20% financial aid limits policy. This could have a positive impact on retention, a better experience for our JV programs. There were concerns raised about tracking participation, and the committee understands that concern. To address this concern, we've suggested best practices that would help institutions implement this rule change if it is passed. The best practices are available at naia.org/CEC as a downloadable resource for you to review before casting your vote. Communication and good record keeping will be key. While we will be able to use DAC stats, each institution will need to look at other resources when tracking sports that do not use that software and when tracking JV and freshman programs. Throughout the season, and again at the end of every season, the SID and compliance staff should review the season stats with the coaching staff to ensure the accuracy of the participation list. In order to avoid issues, it will be extremely important to have open communication between the head coach, compliance personnel, and the SID. The head coach should be encouraged to include the SID throughout the season on any communication regarding additions to the roster and/or any number changes, as these have proved to be issues in the past. Now keep in mind, when tracking the 20% participation, it will not only be for the season's competition, but will be used for financial aid compliance as well. In this example, the Excel spreadsheet lists the volleyball team, varsity, junior varsity designation, and the scheduled games across the top. Note the JV contests are coded in a different color. At the conclusion of each playdate, a number 1 is entered in the column for each athlete that participated. The built-in formula will show each student athlete's current participation percentage. If kept up to date following each competition, coaches and staff can see participation percentage at any point in the season. The format can easily be used in Google Sheets as well. The formula will need to be changed for each sport to appropriately count dates or games per bylaws. And remember, you don't include scrimmages. We understand that there are challenges to this rule, but we feel like the benefits to the student athlete and to the institution outweigh those challenges. It will just take organization and determination to get the job done, and we hope that we have provided you with the ideas and tools to assist you in that process. I would like to thank Ellen Ramsey with the NAIA and the entire Competitive Experience Committee for their dedication and persistence in getting this legislation ready for a vote. Thank you for your time today, and we welcome your questions and/or comments at the upcoming Town Hall meeting.